My wife cheated on me and invited her AP to our kid's birthday, so I made them regret it. Hello. I've been a lurker here for a little while trying to process infidelity in my life. Long story short, my wife and I have been married for 8 years, together for a few years longer in total, and we have 2 small kids. This year has been tough, and we have had our arguments, but nothing that I would ever think would push my wife to cheat. Anyway, I noticed her lately being distant and uncommunicative, and decided to confront her one evening. At that time, she said that she was not happy and couldn't feel a spark anymore. At first, I freaked out, thinking I was being a non-attentive husband, which was truthfully an issue. However, the next day, I caught a very strange message on her phone that was extremely lovey-dovey. I took a look and then found my wife was messaging a man for a long time with lots of "I love you" and plans for a future together. I was completely destroyed. Anyway, taking the advice of the many threads on here, I didn't confront her initially. I actually read as much as I could, contacted a couple of lawyers for advice, one now on retainer, and got my head on straight and calm. I confronted my wife a couple of days ago, calmly asked if she was having an affair, and after a couple of minutes, she admitted everything. Long story short, it's been going on for 6 months, and she claims it's the deepest emotional connection ever. Complete bullshit, but whatever. To end it all, I gave my list of boundaries, cut off contact with the AP, etc. The thing that I think is the final nail in an honest attempt to reconcile is that she got extremely aggravated with cutting off contact, especially when I told her to do it in front of me, and even insisted on seeing him one last time for closure. I held my ground and told her, if he is so important, to pack a bag and go live with him, to which she backed off, but not before she told me I was a controlling a-hole. Anyway, she sent a text this morning and showed me, but my spidey senses seem to think she will try a different means of communication. I'm thinking there is no hope, and I honestly don't want it at this point, but I just wanted to be able to tell my kids in 20 years that I at least tried. We have marriage counseling tomorrow, but I'm thinking it's time to file before wasting any more time or grief. I'm cautious to move too fast because of my kids, but is this the right way to do it? Update 1. The past few weeks, simply put, have sucked, but it's given me time for a lot of soul searching and thinking. As an update from the previous thread, my wife and I did attend some counseling after the initial confrontation. I will say this particular counselor has been very good about listening to both of us and not assigning blame or anything like that, and helping to navigate our new reality. She has also helped to uncover some structural issues in our relationship, and while that doesn't at all excuse my wife's behavior, it's helpful, at least knowing for a future relationship, to avoid repeating the same mistakes. As also mentioned in the thread, my wife's initial reaction to my boundary to cut off contact with the AP appeared to go unheeded. I did catch some small messages between them before she completely went dark with her chat log phone. After seeing that, I decided to file, and she was served a few days ago. In parallel, I decided to have a heart-to-heart with my brother, as we are super close, and I needed to prioritize this support for our kids versus our relationship, as I could see my wife wanted to sweep this under the rug. Needless to say, my wife was initially extremely upset. Her fantasy was blown up. But our therapist did talk it through with her from my point of view on why this needed to happen, and I think she is starting to realize the consequences of her actions and starting to see there are real things that are going to be lost from here on out. I'm just trying to process the new life ahead and the huge change in my identity from a husband-father to something else. Same with her. I will say, since I filed, my wife was immediately shocked when I dropped that on her, and she has been very emotional these past few days. I honestly think she thought I would never be able to walk away. I have kept her at arm's length, but I have seen a distinct change in her. On a positive note, we have talked more, kept our conversations civil, and focused on our shared priorities, our children, mostly. I've made it very clear to her that she left a huge wound on me, and that she has to do the heavy lifting to help repair and give me space. All the next moves and my feelings are constantly in flux, but I am starting to feel some inner peace. Thank you all. Again, a small update. I am in the post-serving part and working closely with my counsel. What I'm looking for is if any BS here took advantage of the affair fog to get better divorce terms, and how you pulled it off. My STBXW is clearly deep in the fog, still seeing or contacting the AP, which at the moment I haven't bothered her about since it's a good distraction. What did people get agreements on that were unexpected? Any advice is greatly appreciated on how to move through this phase, and also to keep her off balance is also helpful. Besides Grey Rock and 180, I've been going out much more unexpectedly and not disclosing details of my activity. Update advice: Grey Rocking during divorce proceedings. Hi everyone, I posted a few threads about my ongoing saga, but the abridged version is, his wife cheated, I caught her, she gave me the "I love you but I'm not in love," and the AP is the greatest emotional connection ever. BS has trickle truth, gaslit everything to the script. I then proceeded to drop papers on her, and well, here we are a few weeks later. Long story short, now in the post-serving phase and having to cohabitate for now since I want to spend as much time with my children as possible, I am now in a separate room too. So this has helped me begin to get that distance. I've implemented the gray rock with my STBXW. Generally try not to be interested in any discussion, but have to fake it a little, especially with the kids around. They are still small, but try to be upbeat as they can sense a lot. I'm also not making myself available in the evening, going out with friends, working out, whatever. Any other advice on how to best handle this situation? It's a delicate balance. I want as much bonding time with my kids and have sucked it up for family dinners and whatnot. Any other do's and don'ts? Update 2. I've made a few posts prior. For those that don't know the story, it's simply, wife cheated, greatest emotional attachment ever, love you but not in love, etc. I threw down papers, and well, I'm just over 1.5 months after D-Day and working like hell to move on. The purpose of this post is not for any update. All I can say is the process is ongoing, and I will give the appropriate update at the right time, likely a while. My only request is for anyone that has gone through the process, please share any good advice, lessons learned, things you would have done differently, or good things to know. The advice in the previous posts has been super helpful, and those that have reached out in other ways have been incredible. Just reaching out in case there is more that can help. Update. She cheated, but I'm made to feel like the a-hole. Hey everyone, my story can be found in my post history, but long story short, as always, wife cheated, found her greatest emotional turd ever. I threw down papers, and the train is riding to D-Town. Just wanted to get some stories on how folks dealt with in-laws, SLF friends, etc., making you out to be the bad guy. I did get the jump after filing and told some of the in-laws, my family, and some friends, but I didn't broadcast it. Why? Because I want to keep some things quiet. That being said, I know my TBX likely threw down her side, and while I'm getting some cold vibes from a lot of her family and some other folks, I know blood is thicker than water. But it sucks when your close family turns their back despite you being a good dad and husband and the wife being an immoral turd. Did people start to see stuff later on and change their opinion? Did you just stop caring and move on? Update 3. Hi everyone. As of today, there is some closure coming my way in my saga that started over the summer, and I have been posting and getting advice from everyone here. I just want to start off and thank this community for the incredible support and advice, especially to those folks who privately messaged and offered words of wisdom along the way. This is a crappy process to go through, especially when close family is far away. It sucks to be alone with your thoughts, but there is some wisdom and introspection to gain during this. For those that need a recap, one of the many threads is below, but the TLDR is, my wife cheated and tried to hide it. I found out, realized there was no hope as she was deep in the fog with the AP, and immediately filed on her anyways. The past few months have been frosty but relatively drama-free as the STBX and I separated our lives in the house, but still did things for our children. 2. Do lawyer up with an experienced family law attorney who is reasonable. I can't say enough about the person who took care of me. Understanding that this is what I want versus reality was important in converging to the end. I don't have any crazy ridiculous fees, as I did a lot of the prep and avoided hours and hours of back and forth, and this was able to be settled rather quickly. 3. Do lean on friends and family for support as much as possible. 4. Working out and exercise is key to keeping your mental health. I hit the weights a month after D-Day and am starting to reap the benefits. That confidence has been helpful to get across the finish line. 5. Get into IC and talk with someone. This has helped me tremendously. 6. I realize this from all the posts I read, but the cheaters' decisions are all on them. I heard it all from my STBX. I was a roommate. I love you, not in love. Our marriage went so wrong. I worked too much, blah blah. Truth be told, now that I know the timeline, our marriage went wrong after she invited someone into her life who was feeding her lines to stroke her ego and give her extra attention. She had to put up walls and make me the bad guy to justify this in her mind. Sure, she may have been stressed from kids, day-to-day life, and a long-term marriage, but not communicating with her husband and confiding in a 2-time divorced cheater with no moral compass is all on her and a recipe for disaster. The exciting final chapter of Cap and Sackett Freeman's 5-year plan is yet to be written, but poor choices carry consequences. That is all I will say on the matter. Again, thank you to everyone. I still have a lot of work ahead, but also many adventures in this new chapter of my life. I hope I can return the favor to anyone who needs it. Please reach out if anyone needs a helping hand. I am here. Update. Has your ex pushed to still be in your life after divorce? Got a question for the group. My post history details the greatest emotional connection, love story ever. Ha! I'm not so far away from moving into my own place, as I have a couple of kids with my STBX, and also for legal reasons, I have remained in our marital house. As this process has taken place, I have posted a couple of other threads of the ongoing saga. Thankfully, the light is at the end of the tunnel for me soon. Obviously, I have to co-parent with my cheating ex, and will be friendly for that. But I have been firm in saying she killed our marriage, and by default, any sort of friendship. I have no room in my life for a lying cheater. She has, however, been insistent about wanting to be there for me, promising to help decorate my new house and keep holiday traditions for the kids. Again, I have remained firm in saying she torpedoed our relationship and wanted to replace me. So, I'm simply giving her that wish. I have even gone as far as to say she won't be a welcome guest in my house. Has anyone had this happen with an ex wanting to hang around? I have to guess it's some sort of optic. If we are friends, the split can't be so bad. So far, the AP has not shown his face, and she tries to hide it. But I know it's a matter of time before their greatest emotional connection gets to go live. I have no desire to ever be in the same room as those two anyways, but will remain outside the blast radius with popcorn when that whole thing goes up in flames. Thanks, as always, to this awesome group. Update 4. As of today, the official decree went out, and I am no longer married. I also picked up the keys to my new house and will start the process to move ASAP. I did choose to take a buyout, as I felt it was best to start fresh in a place of my own to make new memories. I really got lucky. I found a nicely kept up house barely a minute away from my current home. Huge fenced-in backyard, wood fire pit, big garage, and primo location. I also back up to a nature preserve, and as I'm an avid outdoorsman, I have a gateway to my own little paradise. Some will ask why so close. Well, I want to be close to my kids because they need to know their dad is close by for when they need me. Thanks to the advice of this community, I kept my mind focused on what was important. I started a workout program and also dove headfirst into a new career opportunity that recently paid itself huge dividends. I have not bothered with old or seeking out a new partner and will likely enjoy the single life for a while. I have my 2 little kids to focus on and fully plan on focusing on them and my personal growth for a while. My life has depended on this so much these past months when I didn't have very many close by to turn to. For those who are at the very beginning of this crap deal, please keep putting one foot in front of the other and surviving every day. I'm not an expert in life, but I'm also willing to lend an ear to those who need it. Good luck, y'all. Update. I'll have a life update coming soon, as I've had some pretty major things, mostly good, happening after my official divorce. That being said, in my new free time, I unfortunately have looked back and saw the life I had planned evaporate, and wonder how this could happen in such a short time. I'm sure everyone has had much time to ponder the who, what, why, but I look back on my WS and I had a great life ahead of us, careers that are doing great. After some initial major efforts to establish ourselves, we paid off our home. 2 beautiful children who are now out of diapers, kids' college funds being funded, amongst the multitude of other things going for us. Thinking about this is my last hurdle to get over. But I really can't understand the mindset of someone who has so much going for her, but decided to nuke it all, and is going all in on an unreliable serial cheating turd. I mention OM one more time to this group. I know I'm going to struggle for a while to heal from all this, but I just look at our history and lives together and think, how can a person be so selfish and stupid? I get that desire can't be negotiated and all that jazz, but damn, the whole point of being married is to work together through things as a team and to continuously fall back in love with one another. Thanks again to this great group for all the insights. I know I likely sound like a broken record, but these forums have been great to vent this stuff. Update 5. Hello all. Wanted to give a quick update, especially to those folks who just went through their D-Day and are worried about what life may be like. I'm 6 weeks post-decree, and I moved into my new place a month ago, working like a madman to get it set up into my sanctuary. I finally have it well furnished, and it feels like home me home. My kids have now been over many times, and the rotation is working well. I've read many times here that kids are resilient, but until you see it firsthand, it is worrisome. I'm happy to report they are handling things pretty well, and we have our own fun at Dad's house. They have told me many times they love being over. As for me, it's initially been weird having some newfound freedom, but I found that making to-do lists in daily, weekly, and long-term goals is helping a lot. I was initially sad, but keeping busy keeps that away. I'm focused only on self-improvement at the moment. I have thought about putting myself back on the scene, but truthfully have no interest. So I'm keeping focused on home improvement, fitness, and my kids. Someone commented on one of my posts that getting out of the house was like being underwater and coming up for air, and they were right. As for the cheating ex, I keep it cordial, but that's it. No sign of the greatest emotional connection. AP yet, WTF, but who cares? 3 just say tonight I sat outside, had a few beers and a cigar, and enjoyed the peace and tranquility of my property. I thought getting the heck away from the situation my ex put me in was the right thing to do. To those at the beginning and doubting leaving, I get it. It's the toughest thing, heartbreaking, and a kick in the junk, but making the decision to eject a cheater out was the only right decision. I only feel that with time, it will get better. Cheers, everyone. Update. Hi all. Another update from AC496. Once again, thank you to all you wonderful people for the comments and support. It's now month 2 of being on my own. My house is coming together quite nicely. My kids have been doing very well in making memories, and I have some fun trips planned in the near future. As per the usual advice, I have kicked my weight training into the next gear and furnished my home gym with some better equipment. I've also been hitting the heavy bag very regularly. It must be working. In my monthly therapy session, my counselor noticed I was putting on weight in the right places, and she said it's great the progress she is seeing mentally and physically. So a little affirmation. Things are going in the right direction. I have not bothered to date or look at this point. It's early on, and I'm just enjoying the free time, new projects, and time with friends. So to the point of the post, and I'm sure everyone keeps wondering, has crappy luck hit crappy people? Well, I don't have. I wanted to ask, why could this be? Is my ex-wife just playing image management and waiting to reveal all at a time that looks better? But isn't the thrill of the affair dead now that they can't sneak around? I'm no longer around, so I just find it odd. I have a feeling they are still communicating. She makes it obvious she is by hiding her phone still if I'm around during kids' activities. But why? It's like you wanted this. You snuck around and claimed this was the most amazing thing ever. Why not blast it out now that the horrible ex-husband is gone? Has this happened to anyone else with their ex and AP? Update 5. Hi all, I'm almost to the 6-month mark, past divorce, and nearly to the year past D-Day. It's been cathartic to post, but I know a lot of folks have followed my journey, commented, messaged, and given hope, etc. And like many others posted along the journey to give the unfortunate new folks here some ray of light, that despite the darkness you have stepped in, there is another side. I hope I can continue to help in whatever small way I can to anyone in need. I greatly appreciated the support I got, and in kind, would always love to return the favor. On that note, 6 months past D-Day, and there's a lot of positive news. My house is furnished and a home. My kids are comfortable in the routine and love coming over and have made some neighborhood friends. I am beyond thankful that the little ones manage this process so well, and they just understand. There is dad time and mom time, and no complaints or tears outside of them being here. I've immersed myself into a crap ton of home improvements. The house I moved into was occupied by an older, divorced gentleman, and some stuff got left by the wayside. But I look at it as an opportunity to make it my own. Along with that, I furnished a home gym in my house with everything I need, and can say I'm getting my workouts and boxing in 4 times a week and getting my body back to where it needed to be through this whole ordeal. I also went through a major career change internally to where I work and somehow managed to not mess anything up, but instead have gotten kudos. I've kept my situation private, received a raise, and gained plenty of exposure to get my career trajectory moving up. Yes, I still struggle daily with mental health and focus, but I manage it with therapy and workouts, and things are getting better. I think less and less of my ex each day, and each small step is a relief. As for her, well, she is still in La La Land, but I can only say we co-parent decently well. I gray rock the heck out of her. Let's be friends, but keep it strictly to kids. And it's been cordial. I'm sure anyone who has followed my story has wondered about the saga of the OM. All I can say is the world's greatest love story hasn't gone live, but my kids made me aware recently he has been around in a small capacity. I have to laugh a little, as it's now 6 months past D-Day and they are still sneaking around. All great hallmarks of a long-lasting, trusting relationship guaranteed to stand the test of time. I've come to terms that whatever is going to happen will happen, and at this point, I am lucky to be away from a person that is willing to lie to their most trusted partner's face and not feel an ounce of remorse. I have a solid chance at building an even better life than before. Good riddance and good luck. Anyways, that is all, and yet another big thanks to all those that follow and comment, send rays of hope. I will keep updating and supporting. As always, update. Hi y'all, thought I'd pass on the thoughts of a good conversation I had with a buddy last night over many beers. It's amazing sometimes how the world's problems can be solved on a Friday night. For context, my buddy also got divorced 7 years ago, and his circumstances are eerily similar to mine. Even our exes have the same birthday. I have mentioned in previous posts recently, but the grand reveal of the OM and my ex is slowly taking form. I am low contact with my ex, but my kids make comments and it's hard not to get irked, whatever. Anyways, my buddy noticed I was a bit frustrated and said this, and it helped me a lot. Dude, think about their lives. 2 cheaters getting together, and think about how crappy, low-value turd he is for manipulating a married woman with kids. Now look at it this way. They have to make it work, no matter how bad it becomes. You or I can meet women, and if it's not good, we move on. No problem, no worry. They are stuck. He has to be in your old house, knowing you built it, and has no smooths. As always, I have something to get off my chest. For those that remember my saga, I've been progressing well, and I have some big updates coming soon. I like to post positive things in my journey to help those in their journey. But for now, I'm in need of advice. My daughter's birthday is coming up this weekend. I already celebrated last weekend with my family and had a small gathering, nothing crazy. My daughter loved her presents and cake. Well, the ex is having her usual, look at how awesome I am party this weekend. I did get an invite, but I just found out the other day that good old Bap is confirmed to be there. I called out my ex, saying this was a pretty crappy thing to do, but she didn't reply. Better yet, the ex's co-workers and family friends who knew about the affair will be there, and the party is at my old house enemy territory. This is just horrid overall, as it's my daughter's party after our divorcing, and I can't help but feel it's a setup. After talking with some other supportive members here, this feels like entering a pit of vipers. The only thing I can think of is going, dressed well, with a fresh haircut, and showing off my new physique. Hey, I've been doing the work and staying in shape, but either way, I just don't like this. I feel this is super manipulative of the ex. She knows exactly how she is playing this and wants me to do something petty. Any advice is appreciated. Wow, the responses have been awesome. You guys are all awesome. I will try to respond to each and every one when my day calms down. Hey everyone, I wanted to thank the massive amount of support I got on my post from earlier this week. Since the beginning of this saga, this community has been my lifeboat and savior with advice to get me through all this. Thank you all. It truly means the world to me. As for the juicy update, well, this is a good one. So I initially told the ex that I'd be joining. What I didn't do was tell her I changed my mind. I waited until Saturday morning to pop by the house and drop off my daughter's card and present. Well, unbeknownst to me, the kids were dropped off at Grandma and Grandpa's house for the morning. As I drove up into the driveway in my sports car, I may add, none other than Om's turd wagon was on the side of the road. I strolled into the backyard quietly, and with a smile, surprised both the ex and Om as they were putting up decorations. The look of utter terror was on both their faces. And I shot you not. Om didn't look me in the eyes once, but was like, "Oh, hey man, ha!" Honestly, when I looked at both of them, I didn't feel anger, but just a sense of how sad they both are. Good luck together. Is that growth? I kept my composure and just said, I'm here to give my daughter her present, but I won't be joining. The ex was shocked, and I swear in the nicest voice I ever heard in my life, she darn near pleaded for me to join. I said thanks, but no thanks. I will go to your parents' place to give my daughter her gift, and parted ways. I did give a, hey, see you later, Berto Om, before strolling out, head held high. Not more than 3 minutes later, I got a phone call from the ex again, pleading for me to come to the party, but I held my ground and politely refused. A few minutes later, I dropped off the gift, went into the ex-in-laws for a few minutes, played with my kids, and said my goodbyes, all very kindly and not mentioning the situation. As for me, I kept myself busy tending to my house. I got a good workout in, much needed after a break, and I went out on a date. Ultimately, it was kind of a bust, but she was nice, and at least it was a distraction. My daughter called me today and thanked me for my gift, but she didn't ask why I wasn't there. So like everyone said, she was so busy she didn't pay attention. So there it is. I know if I would have gone, I would have set myself back a ton and for nothing. Instead, she told everyone I'd be there, and with me a no-show and Om there, I'm absolutely certain people put 2 and 2 together on why. Now I can go about my weekend not feeling mentally exhausted and do some fun things. Hey everyone, this is going to be a short but rather humorous update to my previous posts. The outreach was incredible. Thank you all for your advice, and I'm still smiling from the rope-a-dope I pulled last week. I've had a really good week since then. Anyway, here, apparently, Om was not introduced to anyone. The ex-U was deliberately apart from him during the party and was mostly directing him on things to do. The in-laws didn't bother to talk to him and sat with themselves. Looking pretty annoyed, he clearly was a fish out of water and actually went inside most of the time and avoided most everyone. It was also a quiet comment among some of the in-laws, an uncle on the side of things, that this is pretty classless. I swear I'm heading toward indifference, but I just laughed my butt off. My absence was well understood, and my earlier gift giving to my daughter was also known, so it seems like the family had a full understanding of my absence mission accomplished. Anyways, that is my Friday humor for those new to your own bad situation. I cannot stress enough the importance of taking the high road, acting with dignity and class, and just moving toward living the best life. It's not always the most satisfactory course of action, but like weight training, the results take time but are worth it. Happy Friday, y'all. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.